Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are looking into a really complex and I think high stakes part of the enterprise world.
We are. We're looking at a company that has pretty quietly positioned itself as, well, not just a software vendor.
No, more like the central nervous system for a modern global corporation. We're talking about ServiceNow, ticker NNOW.
And it's a crucial deep dive for you, our listener, because we really need to determine if this business has crossed a certain threshold.
Is it just another successful SaaS company?
Or has it achieved that enduring business quality status? The kind of business that just compounds reliably for decades, almost immune to the normal economic cycles.
That's the mission. Has it become the true operating system for work? But there is a huge piece of friction here, right at the heart of the investment debate.
Oh, absolutely. And it's the hook we have to address right away.
ServiceNow's entire compounding model, its power, is built on seat-based pricing. It's about how many human employees are logged in.
And then along comes this potential existential threat, the rise of autonomous agentic AI.
Right. If AI agents get so good they can handle IT, HR, security, what does that do to the seat count?
That's the tension. Can ServiceNow's famous architectural elegance turn this threat, this pressure to deflate seats, into an evolutionary catalyst that actually pushes profitability higher?
Huge question. So let's start where every great enterprise story begins, the architecture. This is where the moat is dug.
It is. When you look at the giants in the space, Salesforce, Oracle, SAP, they have a specific model for growth.
They buy new capabilities and bolt them onto the core.
Exactly. They buy a Tableau or a Slack or MuleSoft, and that creates what people in the industry call a Frankenstein architecture.
Because the pieces don't really speak the same language.
They don't. You get fragmented code bases, different data schemas, and just enormous friction. You need all these translation layers just to get the data to move between the parts. It builds up a huge amount of technical debt.
And massive headaches for the customer, for the CIO, who has to pay for all that integration work.
So how is ServiceNow different?
It's the single data model. This is it. This is the primal advantage.
One source of truth.
One source of truth across the entire platform. It doesn't matter if it's an IT ticket, an HR request, or a security incident. An asset, say a laptop, is registered once in the configuration management database, the CMDB.
And that single object is instantly understood by every other module.
Instantly. By HR, by security, by customer service. There's no middleware, no translation needed.
And that's what analysts are calling the protocol effect, right? And it just becomes the standard for how work gets done inside that company.
Precisely. It absorbs all the complexity from the legacy systems underneath your SAPs, your Workdays, and it just presents this unified, frictionless system of action.
So it becomes the orchestrator.
The indispensable orchestrator.
Yeah.
And because it's all unified, deploying a new app or automating a process is, 10 times faster than trying to stitch together 6 different acquired systems. Which brings us directly to the moat. The switching costs. We hear lock-in all the time in tech, but this feels different.
It is different. Analysts call it the Roach Motel theory.
The Roach Motel.
Okay. Because removing ServiceNow is not an IT project. It's a nervous system transplant for a global corporation. Every single mission-critical process, onboarding an employee, patching a vulnerability, resolving a customer complaint, all of it runs through the platform.
The pain of removal would be immense. But can we quantify that? What are the retention numbers actually like?
The numbers are, frankly, staggering. Customers consistently report renewal rates of 98 to 99%.
98 to 99.
Just think about what that means for a financial model. For all practical purposes, the average customer lifetime is infinite. They don't have to fight to keep customers.
They just have to decide how quickly to expand within them.
And their ability to expand is legendary. You found that cohort data, which really shows their infect and integrate strategy at work.
Yeah, that was compelling. Tell us about that spend expansion.
It just shows the compounding power of the relationship. A customer cohort that signed up around 2010? Well, their collective annual spend has expanded by an incredible 43x since then.
43 times. That's not just growing with an IT budget. That's proof they're metabolizing huge chunks of the entire enterprise budget.
Absolutely. They move from IT into HR, into security, and beyond. And now they're adding another layer. As they shift from a tool to a full platform, you get this powerful developer network effect.
The ServiceNow store.
With over 1,000 third-party apps, So when partners build their own IP, their own workflows on the Now platform, they anchor themselves there.
Yeah.
It creates this lock-in by proxy, which just reinforces the direct switching costs.
Okay, so the moat is deep and wide. Let's pivot to the engine that funds all this, the financial physiology of the company. This is a rare beast.
It really is. I mean, most SaaS companies are judged by the rule of 40.
Revenue growth plus free cash flow margin should equal 40.
Right. ServiceNow consistently operates closer to the rule of 60.
Which is a very elite club. What are the specific numbers driving that?
You're seeing revenue growth consistently in that 22 to 23% range. And at the same time, free cash flow margins are hitting 31%.
So they're generating over $3.4 billion in free cash flow a year.
That duality, that combination of rapid growth that is self-funded by massive cash generation, it's just profoundly valuable. It means they can fund their own R&D, their own AI infrastructure without taking on debt or diluting shareholders.
They control their own destiny.
Completely.
Now, there's a strategic choice they've made on revenue quality I want to touch on. Subscriptions are 97% of revenue, super high margin, but their professional services arm, it sometimes runs at a loss. Why do they tolerate that?
That's the genius of the model. It is a very deliberate choice to keep the core software P&L pristine.
They intentionally outsource the low-margin implementation work.
To partners like Accenture and Deloitte, they're essentially weaponizing their partner ecosystem.
So they create this motivated army of integrators to sell and implement for them.
Exactly. ServiceNow focuses purely on the high-margin, sticky IP, while the partners absorb the messy, people-intensive work. It's a brilliant way to scale.
Okay, let's look forward. Pipeline velocity. We have to talk about CRPO.
Current remaining performance obligations. For you listening, it's the best measure of near-term SaaS health, much better than just looking at past revenue.
It's a contractual backlog, right? The revenue that's already guaranteed for the next 12 months.
Precisely. And in Q4 2024, CRPO hit $10.27 billion. But crucially, its growth rate at 24.5% was faster than the revenue growth rate of about 22%.
And that positive divergence is exactly what we want to see.
It's key. It tells you the sales pipeline is filling up faster than they're recognizing the revenue. It's like coiling a spring. It gives them this incredible forward momentum and visibility.
And quickly on management, under Bill McDermott, what are we seeing on governance that supports that long-term durability?
We've seen some really positive changes in the 2024 proxy. They extended the performance period for their stock units, their PSUs, out to 3 years.
Which forces executives to think long-term, not just quarter to quarter.
Exactly. Yeah. And they added a relative total shareholder return modifier in RTSR.
So they have to outperform their peers.
They do. They don't just get rich because the whole tech sector goes up. The board is actively aligning executive pay with real, patient, long-term outperformance.
Okay. Now for the main event, the AI synapse. Let's tackle that seat compression risk head-on, the core bear case.
The most potent threat to the whole SaaS model, really.
If AI makes humans more efficient, why don't companies just cut half their seats and kill the pricing model?
The defense here is a powerful economic concept called Jevons paradox.
Okay, refresh our memory on Jevons paradox.
It states that as the efficiency of using a resource goes up, the demand for that resource also goes up. So in this context, as the friction and the cost of resolving an IT issue drops to near zero because of AI,
the demand for resolution just explodes.
It explodes. Think of all the little frustrations, the millions of issues that currently go unreported because logging a ticket is a pain.
If you could just tell a virtual assistant your problem and it's solved.
The volume of work flowing through the platform will increase dramatically. More work, same platform, greater utilization, even if the work per human agent goes down.
And they are already monetizing this shift. They're not just waiting for it to happen.
Yeah, they're charging a premium for it. They've rolled out the Pro Plus Uplift. It's a 25 to 30% price hike for their AI features for Now Assist.
And customers are paying it.
The early data is wild. A reported 55x increase in AI agent assist consumption in just 5 months. Customers are willingly paying more for the efficiency gains.
As the deflationary risk is being met with a successful monetization strategy. But what's the ultimate strategic high ground here?
It's to become the AI control tower, the supervisor of the robots.
Explain that.
Look, it goes back to that architectural purity. They hold the CMDB. They have the authoritative map of the entire enterprise. So in a future with thousands of AI agents running around from OpenAI, Google, whoever, you can't have chaos.
You need a governance layer. You need to make sure the agents aren't hallucinating or breaking compliance rules.
Correct. And ServiceNow becomes the logical place for that governance. It controls the map, so it controls the agents using the map. This makes them totally agnostic to who wins the LLM wars.
They're selling the control layer, not the intelligence itself.
Securing a whole new critical control point, a whole new revenue stream.
So let's put them in the competitive matrix. How do they stack up against, say, Salesforce?
I think what we're seeing is a long-term duopoly forming, but in different areas.
Okay.
Salesforce owns the system of engagement, the customer-facing, revenue-generating side. But ServiceNow, because of its unified data model, owns the operational system of action.
It's a resolution engine.
That's it. They can link a customer complaint all the way back to a server outage in the CMDB and automate the fix across 3 departments. Salesforce, with its fragmented architecture, just struggles to do that deep root cause resolution.
And what about Microsoft's Power Platform? That comes bundled with Office 365, which is a huge advantage.
That's more a case of coexistence. Microsoft is fantastic for simple departmental apps, but ServiceNow wins on the complex, high-rigor, mission-critical stuff that needs audit trails and federal certifications.
And we have to emphasize that. The federal fortress.
It is a massive, expensive regulatory barrier, holding FedRAMP high and DoD impact level 4. That's huge. It gives them this quasi-monopolistic position in federal IT.
Which makes a big chunk of their cash flow basically recession-resistant.
It's like an inflation-adjusted annuity.
So we've built a very compelling case for an indispensable business. But we have to talk about the price. The valuation is high.
It is. No doubt about it. You're looking at 14 to 17 times price to sales, a forward PE over 50. Investors are paying what you'd call a safe haven premium for this quality.
So this is not a bet on the multiple expanding.
Absolutely not. This investment has to be viewed as a Tier 1 core holding. Your returns will come from continued predictable earnings growth and compounding. Not from the market deciding to pay an even higher price for it. You're paying a high, but I'd argue fair, price for predictability.
So, to summarize the deep dive, it seems ServiceNow has that rare trifecta. Durability from the 99% retention and switching costs.
Right. Growth from expanding into new functions and that new AI governance layer.
And just elite quality, shown by that rule of 60 financial performance.
It is indispensable today. But we have to leave you, our listener, with the ultimate challenge for management. The innovator's dilemma they have to avoid.
The question of obsolescence.
Yes. If the future of work really does become just talking to an AI that executes everything in the background, does the visual interface of ServiceNow, the forms, the tickets, the dashboards, does that all become irrelevant?
Do they risk becoming commoditized back-end plumbing that nobody ever sees?
That is the ultimate test for them over the next decade. So we'll ask you, what other architectural or monetization strategies do you think they need to prioritize to make sure that never happens?